Welcome. And this time we're gonna go away from the normal realm of scary. And what I mean, go away from the normal realm, we're going to a different part of the world. This video that I am going to react to is called Videos That Scared Latin America. Now I don't know if there's going to be ghosts or just scary things that humans did. But it's got the word scare in it. And that is the main part of it. So I'm not going to keep you long because I know Latin America have some of the scariest things happen. After all, there's jungles. There's ghosts in the jungle. There's old cities, really old cities, with apparitions walking around. Native people roaming the earth restlessly after what had happened to them at the hands of the conquistadors. So there's got to be some very fascinating paranormal events there, ghosts, or just strange people. Let us explore this phenomenon.
¿Sí escuchas o no?
It's in Spanish too, so you could only.
¿Qué Andy? ¿Qué escuchas? ¿Hoy? ¿Ya van a abrir el zaguán? Hoy.
Porque es por allá abajo por la barranca, ¿no?
Ajá. Hoy.
Ya vámonos. Mami. Vámonos.
¿Dónde qué? ¿Qué horas son? ¿Las 6? ¿5?
5. 6 de la mañana.
Tarzán, ¿sí escuchas o no? ¿Y tú que te fuiste para allá atrás? No mames.
The legend of La Llorona, which translates to the crying woman or the weeping woman, is one of Mexico's most iconic urban legends, with origins tracing back to around 1550 in Mexico City. While the story is most closely associated with Mexico, many Latin American countries have their own versions with slight variations. The most widely known version tells the tragic tale of a beautiful woman named Maria, who marries a wealthy man and has 2 children with him. Over time, her husband grows distant and eventually betrays her with another woman. Devastated and consumed by grief and rage, Maria drowns her children in a river. Once she realizes the horror of what she's done, she either takes or is cursed to walk the earth forever in mourning. As punishment, Maria becomes La Llorona, a restless spirit doomed to wander the night, weeping and searching for her lost children. In many versions of the tale, she is said to kidnap or drown other children, mistaking them for her own. She often appears near rivers. In some stories, simply hearing her wail can bring misfortune, or even death. In this video, a group of men are working at a construction site when they suddenly hear the sound of a woman crying in the distance. Moments later, nearby dogs begin barking, an eerie detail that aligns with certain versions of the legend, where dogs are believed to sense La Llorona's presence and bark as a warning. Some viewers who have come across this video believe it contains real footage capturing the cries of La Llorona.
See, in my part of the world, in Grenada, where I'm from, we have one called Mama Melody, and she would walk the streets at night crying. And the reason for that is because she died, she passed on during childbirth. So then she roams the street of night crying and grieving for her and the baby. I remember as a kid, we used to live in a place called Grand Roy, And back then there was no street lights. I mean, you look outside and it's just pitch black. And we didn't live close to the highway. There was a river running right next to the house. And when I say a river, it was more like a wide stream. And it ran off right into the ocean, just about half a mile to a mile down. And I remember staying in the house at night, and for the longest time, I would hear this woman just crying out there in the dark. In the dark, mind you. She was just crying at night. It was always around 10:30 at night. She was just out there crying. So I don't know if it was a woman in the big. Oh, there was no houses close to us. We were kind of out there, you know. But I would hear that crying every night, and that was kind of creepy. That was way creepy.
Amy.
Did you all see that?
Amy. Amy.
Did you see that little face that come out there?
In this next video, a man hears a little girl named Amy, possibly his daughter or younger sister, laughing and talking to someone in her room at around 7 p.m. She is supposed to be alone. Curious, he goes to check it out. When he reaches the doorway, he sees Amy sitting on her bed, facing away from him. But what's unsettling is that a second face of a little girl can be seen peeking over Amy's shoulder, staring right at him.
Oh my
As he approaches
goodness.
to get a closer look, the mysterious figure vanishes. Some viewers believe the girl is a ghost, but the most popular theory is that she's Amy's imaginary friend. Let us know in the comments what you think.
So how come he see Amy's imaginary friend? Come on, no.
Estamos aquí en la casa de mi
that was
bisabuela. Se fue
freaky.
la... ¿Qué es eso? Se fue la luz. Esa es la casita. Porque. Y mi mamá. Espérense. Y mi mamá y mi abuela se fueron al Oxxo a comprar velas por eso. Por lo que pasó de que se fue la luz. Y pues. Estamos aquí. Estas son las. Mi abuelito. Espérense. No sean chillones. No va a pasar nada. Y esas son las cenizas de mi bisabuelo. Porque pues desgraciadamente él ya falleció. Y el baño está allá. El baño, mi hermano quiere hacer pipí, pero el baño está allá. Y mi abuela nos dijo que cuidáramos. Mi abuelo nos dijo que cuidáramos aquí su casa en lo que ellas iban. Pero espérense. Pero pues el problema es
Is
que
that
aquí
eyes?
no sabemos. Y pues no.
Is that eyes I'm seeing way back on the back there?
No tengan miedo,
Look, there it is.
no pasa nada. Abuelito, ¿si estás aquí? Preséntate. Si estás aquí, preséntate
Did
ante
you see
nosotros.
it? Ooh.
Somos tus nietos.
They're running, boy. They are running. I've noticed that in movies and stuff, you see the spirits coming at you, and they're coming at you, and they're always like slow and deliberate. In other countries, though, it's a quick, and they're gone. You know what I mean? You just see a quick shadow, boom, boom. What was that? You know what I mean? And maybe that's why people tend to dismiss it quickly, because they know it's such a flash. They could think, well, it's just about anything. You know what I mean? My neighbor is moving around.
This next video was recorded on December 31st, 2020, and posted to TikTok by the user Hola Peter. It shows a young boy and his siblings giving a tour of their grandparents' home while the power is out and their parents are out buying candles. During the tour, the boy enters his grandparents' room and shows where they keep the ashes of their recently deceased grandfather. As they head outside, the kids spot a mysterious figure to the left. They move toward it, calling out for their grandfather. As they get closer, The figure suddenly peeks out from a room and lunges at them. The kids scream and run off, abruptly ending the video.
Señor nuestro, no estuvo bien lo que hicimos. Que no está bien.
The fact that it's not English is even freakier because you don't know what's going on.
Es nombre de la ciencia.
You're just going by visuals, strictly.
Comienza la prueba ahora.
Okay. ¿Qué pasa?
La Chica Flor is a standalone Spanish analog horror video created by a channel we've covered before, XP Goat. Released on YouTube on December 1st, 2024, the video tells the unsettling story of a woman known as Experiment 0001, who suffers from severe burns and becomes the subject of unethical scientific experiments conducted by the mysterious organization Sika. These experiments revolve around the fictional Siltanvo flower, believed to have powerful regenerative properties. While the treatments are initially meant to heal her injuries, they instead trigger a horrifying transformation. Flower-like petals begin to grow from her body, and she develops severe facial deformities. In an effort to conceal her appearance, they give her a porcelain doll-like mask to disguise her new appearance. As time passes, the physical and psychological toll of the experiments causes her to spiral into aggression. Eventually, she lashes out, turning on the very people who experimented on her. The 9-minute video uses a blend of photos, illustrations, distorted footage, and eerie audio to heighten the unease, crafting a deeply atmospheric and disturbing experience.
Okay, here we go. What pops out yonder? Wait a minute. I see something already. What is that? Was that a raccoon? Rascal. Listen, man, it's Latin America. It could be an animal nobody's ever
Werewolves
seen
are
before.
legendary creatures said to transform from human to wolf, most often during a full moon. While their origins are rooted in European folklore, stories of similar shapeshifters exist across the globe, including in many Latin American cultures. These beings are typically portrayed as cursed individuals who lose control when they shift into their wolf form, acting out in violent, animalistic ways. The transformation is usually involuntary and often tied to curses, dark magic, or being bitten or scratched by another werewolf. This next entry includes 2 chilling videos. The first was filmed by a man in Brazil who heard strange noises coming from his backyard. Grabbing his camera, he goes to investigate and captures footage of a large, wolf-like creature wandering through his garden. Moments later, the creature stands on 2 legs and runs off into the darkness. The second clip comes from Argentina and shows security camera footage. It begins with distant howling and the sound of something rustling through the grass and bushes. Suddenly, a creature resembling the one from the first video crawls into frame, pauses, and then quickly scurries away before the footage cuts out.
Oh boy. Uh-oh. Oh no, that's just a movie. Come on now.
Sometime in the early 2010s, a video went viral, showing a little girl coloring and singing a Nicki Minaj song when out of nowhere, a pitch-black hand reaches out from under the bed and yanks her underneath. The video went extremely viral in Spanish-speaking countries, which is why it's often shared on Spanish-language social media accounts. However, the clip actually comes from a short film made in the US and uploaded to YouTube by award-winning Hispanic filmmaker Tony E. Valenzuela on his YouTube channel Black Box TV, which specializes in short horror films and series similar to the one where the girl is pulled under the bed.
You know, that is so true though. I remember certain things come into the island and then we seeing it and you know, wow, that really happened, you know what I mean? Well, as a kid. I tell you the stories like the island used to be predominantly Catholic. So we didn't have the whole Protestant teachings because the Catholicism that we had on the island was teaching peace and love and repentance and going to confession, you know what I mean, and Jesus, God is love, and you know all that good stuff like that. And then with the influx of the Protestants coming in, and they were teaching certain things in the Bible, and I remember the seven-headed beast or something like that that's in the Bible, and I was in what we call primary school, which was junior high. And I remember that was when the first group of Protestants were coming in, they were preaching all this stuff. And the seven-headed beast was one of the things that they preached about. And I remember a fisherman came back from from fishing, and he said he had to race back in the shore because he saw the seven-headed beast. So once again, nobody went close to the ocean. Fishermen didn't go out fishing for a week or two because nobody wanted to encounter the seven-headed beast. So I could understand why something like that really freaked out people in like countries that is not akin to social media and movies and television and stuff. Because believe it or not, there's certain places in South America and even in some of the Caribbean islands where there's no television, you know, yeah, no social media. Even in these times, there's places like that. You know what I mean? And some people, it's a deliberate thing not to have modern technology around them. Okay, that's creepy. What the
On October
bumbleclot was
4th,
that?
2014, a video titled Mickey Mouse Perturbador Bailando Canción del Pueblo Lavanda, which translates to Disturbing Mickey Mouse Dancing to Lavender Town Song, was uploaded to YouTube by the channel Waffen. And at the time of this recording, the video has garnered almost 8 million views. The video features a strange black and white video of a man in a lion costume and a creepy-looking Mickey Mouse playing an instrument as the Lavender Town theme song from Pokemon plays. For those who don't know the backstory behind Lavender Town. In 1996,
That's creepy.
Pokemon Red and Blue were released for the Nintendo Game Boy, and in the game there was a location called Lavender Town. It is known as a burial site for Pokemon, and is known for its unsettling music that stood out in contrast to the more cheerful music in other areas of the game. After the game's release, rumors began to circulate that the song caused children to experience headaches, nausea, or even commit suicide due to its frequencies. The video's unsettling nature combined with the song's backstory caused rumors to spread that the video was also cursed.
Wow, that's crazy.
Platicar con la familia, me encuentro con la señora Cristina. Señora Cristina, pues de inicio lo sentimos mucho,
Is that a
lo ocurrido. Y ya fue la audiencia de vinculación a proceso, ya este sujeto, Juan, fue vinculado ya a proceso. ¿Qué información tiene usted de las autoridades? ¿Qué le pide usted también a las autoridades?
What the bumbleclot was that behind
On
her
February
there?
25th, 2023, a 12-year-old girl named Rosa Itzel tragically lost her life in Mexico City after being struck by a stray bullet. The incident occurred during a dispute between two taxi drivers, which escalated when one of them fired a gun into the air. One of the bullets fatally struck
You
Rosa.
saw that, right?
In the aftermath, Rosa's grieving parents began appearing on various news channels to demand justice for their daughter. During an interview on the well-known network 40 TV, something eerie happened. As Rosa's mother was speaking, a young girl suddenly appeared in front of a casket in the background before quickly vanishing. Later in the same interview, another young girl walked behind her mother and disappeared as well. These strange moments sparked rumors online that the girls were the spirit of Rosa Itzel.
There he goes
Thankfully,
again, dude.
justice eventually moved forward, and the man responsible for firing the fatal shot was apprehended.
Well. No, that was creepy, especially the last one. I'm not a big fan of funerals at all, and though they be sad and everything like that, it's just like you could feel a presence there. I remember when my grandfather died, and on the island, the funeral procession is there's not by car like in big areas where you see cars are going by and they've been escorted by police and stuff like that. It's a procession from the funeral home to the church, and then from the church to the cemetery. And you could feel the presence. It's like that person is walking with you. It's quite an eerie feeling. But if you want eerie feelings, and you have a fondness of the dark, this is the place for you. Be sure to come on back.